everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be super fun to do a video where I talk about my miniature decks because small decks and cute things are fun and they make me smile, and I thought I would share. So with that being said, I'm just going to get right into it because what else am I going to do? So basically, I started out, the very first small or miniature tarot deck I ever got was the Smith-Waite Centennial in a tin. This was also the very first classic Rider-Waite deck that I ever got, and I love the coloring on this one. I like that it has a bit more of an antique-ish kind of feel. So instead of being really bright white on the fronts, I can never figure out, someday you guys will get better at this, but I can never figure out the exact right spot to hold it so that my camera will focus. There we go. So really nice coloring, and you can see that it's about, well, you know what, I should have brought something for reference. That would have been smart. Hold on. I have a reference. Give me 2 seconds. This will be useful. I've got my Crystal Unicorn Tarot nearby, so yeah. Okay. So here's my Crystal Unicorn Tarot, and this is the size of the Centennial in a tin. So maybe I'll turn it around this way. I don't know if that makes it easier to see. So it's quite a bit smaller. I also just love that it comes in a tin, which is super handy. But this is great for travel. It's just great to have. I got it originally as a bit of as just a reference deck, basically. And recently, somebody offered to trade me a full-size version of this deck. So I do have a full size now, but I just love how portable and convenient it is to have this deck ready to go in its little tin. The tin is super cute. I mean, it's the only one in a tin I have. I was tempted by the Sun and Moon Tarot in a tin, but those borders are so big that I feel like if I got it small like that, I'd want to trim it. And then once I trimmed it, it'd be even smaller. And I don't know. I have a full size of Sun and Moon Tarot, and I'm happy with that. But this one is perfect in a tin. Really, really happy with it. I love it. It's good. I just realized my microphone is really far away. Maybe I'll bring it closer. Bear with me. I know, it's super annoying. Alt sound. There we go. I probably should have done that in the first place. That's probably much better. The next miniature deck I ever got, actually, was a Lenormand deck. So this, Peggy made me the cutest little, like, this is one of the very first sewing projects she ever did. It's like leather, and it's got a little snap and some like little decorative stitching along this corner. But she made me a little leather pouch specifically designed to fit this deck perfectly. So this deck lives in my purse, like, at all times. I always have this little Lenormand. I love working with Lenormand. This is the Middia Mini, by the way. You can find this on Etsy. The artist and author of this deck, I guess, I don't know what, the creator of this deck is, I believe, Polish? I'm really bad at remembering, but it's monotone, but it's got this sort of gray, blue-gray color to it. The images are really clear, the artwork is really lovely, and it's so little. Like, I'll hold up the Crystal Unicorn again so you can get an idea. So this is the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, which is pretty standard. That is my little Middia Lenormand. So it's so tiny. So again, it's called the Middia. And I guess I should show you the backings up close. There we go. Really, really pretty. She does have, I believe, a standard Lenormand size. But Lenormand is already, like, typically like a poker size deck. And this is so cute and small and convenient to have in my purse. When I do Lenormand readings, it's usually like quick insight into a situation, and I will typically pick a signifier, say I want some information on work, and I'll decide what my work significator is going to be, and then I will literally go through the deck and see what's on either side of that significator. So I'll do that a lot for quick insight. So I love having this in my purse all the time. It's super convenient, and I just love that Peggy made me this little fitted leather pouch for it. So it's always really safe and protected in my purse. So that's the second small deck, mini deck that I acquired. After that, we have the Llewellyn Tarot. And the Llewellyn Tarot is a Welsh-inspired, Welsh mythology-inspired tarot deck. This one's all mixed up for some reason. I've got reversals in here. I usually straighten it out so that they're all the same. But this was not a mini deck. This was a big deck. It was actually quite chunky, but it had huge borders, and inspired by Kelly Fitzgerald of The Truth and Story, I trimmed all of my borders off, and I used a brown Sharpie in the corners to note the elemental symbol and then which card it was. Or the Roman numeral, I think, for And I think I used words actually in the majors too. But it makes it a very portable, convenient, small size deck. It doesn't have a tin, but Peggy also made me a custom fit pouch for this deck as well. Again, one of her very first ever sewing projects before she got into making the drawstring bags. So I'll show you that in a minute. My camera's being all kinds of weird and is super delayed, so I'm going to give it a second to figure it out. There we go. It was doing all kinds of weird stuff on my end. Hopefully that just processes right out of the video. But anyway, the images in this are really nice. They're very classic. Most of them are really Rider-Waite inspired, clone-ish. So really easy to read. I don't even really need the titles on the cards, to be honest, but there's a few that are a little bit tricky. So I'm glad that I have them on there. But just beautiful, soft artwork, painted, just really nice. No complaints about this deck. It even comes with a couple of little spread cards that I keep in there as well. And there we go. My camera froze. And it had a little bit of Velcro on it, but I peeled it off. It was like a stick-on kind. And this one is, again, a perfectly fitted little deck. You might hear some household noises because they're doing stuff out there. I can't shut my bedroom door when I'm filming because the doggies get upset. Okay. So once this one is all back in its pouch, and it's quite snug, so I usually have to put part of the deck in and then slide the rest in, it's like a perfect fit. I did also edge this deck in this matching brown. And I didn't show you the backs, actually. Let me pull one card out. If my camera would unfreeze, it's not unfreezing. We're just gonna hang out for a second while it figures itself out. Maybe on your end it's actually unfrozen. That would be super nice. Whee! I just waved my hand in front of it to see if it would snap out of it. There it goes! Alright, maybe that worked. I don't know. So that is what the backings look like. See? So nice. So I really, really, really like that deck. That one's a lot of fun. So, moving along. Other miniature decks. Oh, I forgot to show you the size comparison. Let's do that really quickly. Okay. So here is my Crystal Unicorn Tarot. And that is the Llewellyn. Scooch it all over. Wait, I need to like figure out old stuff. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think they're doing dishes or something out there. Okay. So next, put this guy away in its little pouch. Okay. So I'm going to totally count this, although this is like a totally different kind of deck. So this isn't a tarot deck. This is just a little inspiration deck, I guess you would call it. So it's called Whispering Woods. The artwork on the backs is all the same, and there's no real artwork on the front of the cards. So you get this image on the back, and it's like this soft forest image with like a little sleeping like deer. There we go, focused. You can see the LEDs for my camera. And then on the back you get words. You get like a keyword and then a little message. So it's just meant to be like, I think, a little positive something or other. But it is quite small and portable, so I thought I would include it in my miniature decks. It's great if you want like a little oracle to travel with or something and you just want something simple. I enjoy keeping these out and available, and every once in a while I'll just walk by my altar space and I will pick a card and I will just read it and think about it. And it's just a nice little breath of fresh air, I guess, in a way. Like a palate cleanser for my day. Yes. So that is called the Whispering Woods, Enchanting Secrets from the Forest by US Games. So that's really cute. So next, I'm totally going to count this. This is one of my newer things. I have the Marshmallow Marseille. Look how cute this deck is. I just want an excuse to show it because it's so pretty. But look at these like holographic backings. Again, I didn't do it for Whispering Woods. Sorry. I keep forgetting and then pulling things back out. But this is about the size of the Marshmallow Marseille compared to my Crystal Unicorn. But these are great. I haven't really learned Marseille. I'm still learning Marseille. I'm in the process of learning Marseille. But the size is perfect. And this deck is really portable. And I totally copycatted Christy. So Christy ordered one of Peggy's bags that was smaller to keep this little deck in, and Peggy's all out of that material, but she had one bag that was a little smaller than standard, so I stole it, put my Marshmallow Marseille in, because Christy did it, and I was like, I want to do it too, so I totally did it. Also, I'm sorry I'm looking slightly to the side. It's my preview window, and it's really distracting. I tend to stare at myself when I make videos. I'm very sorry. But it's like eye contact, right? And it's weird for me to get used to staring into the camera, but I will do better. because it's something that bugs me sometimes on other people's videos. So I've got to work on it and get better at it. But anyways, so 2 more. These last 2 are really new. Like, I got them this week and they're super exciting. So the first one is actually not a mini deck. It is the Crystal Tarot. So this was a Simon made me do it. This totally went on my wish list because of a video that Simon did. And I meant to actually do a video where I kept one of the full-size cards aside so that I could show you like a before and after, or at least a photo for Instagram or something, but once I got into modifying this deck, I just went at it. So it went from, I mean, I think this is a pretty fair, I'm just going to hold the Crystal Unicorn card in front of the box. You can see it's a pretty fair size comparison there. So that is about the size of what the cards were originally. And this is a low Scarabeo deck, and mine had all the language stuff all the way around the side. But, oh, come on, Lisa. There we go. That is the size now. So quite a difference. But this deck is beautiful, especially borderless. It's very pippy, but not Marseille organized pips. They are different. But the pips are very easy to read. It's really easy to see that that's a 4, for example, and I love that it's in the structure of the box. So this is one I think I'm going to enjoy playing with as I continue to learn more about numerical systems and work my way through Tarot on Earth. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. A lot of the 5s have this pentacle pattern for the pips, which is kind of cool. Oh my gosh, my camera is being annoying. But these are beautiful. They've got like a stained glass. That's the moon. They have a stained glass look to them. Love the Ace of Cups. Very, very pretty. And then I edged it. So it's edged in blues and greens. Come on, camera. There we go. To kind of match the theme. There's a lot of blue and green in this deck, as you can see. So I definitely stuck with blues and greens. I still need to pick out a little pouch for this. Again, I want Peggy to make some mini pouches, so I'm waiting until she's done working on current projects to whine about that. But for now, this is staying in its tuck box. But it's like there's so much room in here. Like, it's like, hello deck, where did you go? It's in there. So that's a mini now. And my newest mini is really mini, and it's so cute, you guys. I'm tempted to trim it just because it's got obnoxious borders, but I don't think I'm going to. Here's the little tuck box. Here is my, I'll pull out a card so you can see. This is the Fairy Tarot. I believe that Heather, Geek Girl Does Tarot, has a full-size version of this and recently trimmed it. The images in this deck are really cute, but I thought for a Fairy Tarot it was so perfect to have it mini. And I went into Reflections recently, again, my local metaphysical store, to pick up this deck because I keep walking by it. It was always in her little tarot stand, and I kept walking by it and thinking about it and then putting it back and thinking about it and putting it back, and I was like, you know what, I want it. So I went in for that and a rose quartz and a vibrated rose quartz, and she was out of the vibrated rose quartz, and this was not in stock, but she messaged me the other day and was like, look what I've got, and I'm like, I'm buying it. So she set it aside for me. So these are the backings, and I'll show you the size comparison too here. So I don't know if my camera's focusing. Let's bring it in a little, see if it'll figure it out. There we go. There's these little fairy creatures in like a monochrome. And here is my Crystal Unicorn. This is the tiniest tarot deck I have for sure. And that is the size comparison. So these are really itty bitty. But the colors are really vivid, and this is also a pip deck. Let's bring it in so the camera can actually focus on these itty bitty images. Come on, camera, you can do it. Get my fingers out of the way. Maybe my camera can't do it. Grr. There we go. Figuring it out. So I think I'm into the majors. Let me just pull. There we go. So this is kind of what the pips look like. So the hearts are cups. The acorns are wands. The bells are pentacles. And the leaves are swords. Oh, that's right. I put this deck in numerological order. That's what I did. I put the 4s together and the 5s together. There are scenes, but the scenes are really tiny. And on quick flip through, I don't necessarily think the scenes really depict any particular meaning, but I need to dig a little bit more through there. There might be some. I think I'm going to be relying more on numerology for the pips in this deck because they're so neatly arranged and so cute. So this will be a fun little portable deck to have for working with more of those grounded numerological meanings that I'm learning with Tarot on Earth. So I'm excited about that. But those are all my mini decks. And I could totally do with more because mini decks are great and super portable. But this little guy, like, think about the little teeny tarot bag I need Peggy to make for this one. Right? Isn't it so cute? So really comparing, even just to the tarot in a tin, like there's quite a difference, even just in those. But small things make me happy. So the ones that currently live in my purse full time are my Llewellyn trimmed and my Middia Lenormand. Oop. These two live in my purse full time, and they just kind of kick around in there, and that way if I ever need a Lenormand or I ever need a tarot, I've got one handy. And those are both the systems I go to for quickie readings. So yeah, very excited to have those in my collection. If you have a favorite like tiny or mini deck, I would love it if you would tell me which one it is in the comments down below, because I am always looking to add to my wish list. Why not? Mini decks and small things are super fun. And that includes if you have a deck that you've trimmed that makes a fantastic mini deck. That's how I ended up with really loving the Llewellyn Tarot, because to be honest, the Llewellyn Tarot was not one that I was connecting with very well until I saw how Kelly, Truth and Story, how she had trimmed hers down to be so adorably small. And once I did that, I was like, yes. And that was actually the very first deck I ever trimmed because I wasn't sure I was going to keep that deck anyway. So that was perfect. So that's all I have for my mini decks. I hope you enjoyed this. I love to hear your comments down below, and I will talk to you all again very, very soon.